Laisse faire ton intro, là, ça sert à rien, ça. Là.
Quand tu vas commencer à payer les acides d'épisode, tu vas décider tout.
Ok, c'est bon. Go.
Ça, c'est fair?
Ok, c'est fait, c'est bon.
C'est fair?
Ok, c'est fait, go.
Si le gars, il paye rien, puis il décide. Même j'ai payé une sandwich. J'ai même payé une
C'est mieux de pas
sandwich.
faire
gros.
un intro.
Ouais, mais c'est différent à cause que la façon qu'eux font pas des intros, là. Parce qu'ils commencent à parler, comme Joe Rogan, ils commencent à parler tranquillement. Ok, mais là, ils me doivent dire, ok, ça commence, puis là, on peut commencer tranquillement.
Ok, go. Qui commence live.
Ok, commence là. Puis là, on parle, tu vois, on dit n'importe quoi. Parfait, dis-moi quand ça roule, puis on fait comme si on parlait de quelque chose. Ça roule-tu? Ça roule-tu?
Mais là, on parle de rien, là.
Ok, parfait. Ben là, tu vois, so now we're gonna... Okay, so first question, Luca.
Ok.
What would you do if you woke up famous tomorrow? Before you answer that question,
Just famous.
before you answer that question, welcome back, guys, to the Andrew Delish podcast. Go ahead. Yeah, if you woke up famous and rich.
Like, do I have a job?
You're famous and you're rich. You wake up as Cristiano Ronaldo. That's who the fuck you are. That's who the fuck you are. That's who the fuck you are. There you go. There you go, baby.
I have his life, but I would be sad that I lost my kids now, that I have now.
No, but don't... What's that woke ass answer?
No, I think not. Oh, fuck, I'm like, where's
you have
Elena?
Yeah, you have them.
Okay, so I'm Luca in my life now, but I wake up rich and famous.
You're Luca now. Everything Luca is the same. Everything.
Okay.
But tomorrow we have the fame of Ronaldo and the money
I
of
would like
Ronaldo.
to have the fame of Ronaldo.
Okay, I don't care if you'd like it or not. What would you do?
I would take all my money, like invest a lot, and then I would go travel the whole world. And then once I'm sick and tired of traveling the whole world, then I would like start to find like a career that I would find interesting, because I don't think just like not working and just enjoying life is gonna get boring fast. I think like, let's say like tomorrow I'm rich as Ronaldo, I would buy a yacht and just like travel the whole world, like every country, travel everything, eat all the food, and then I would like try to find a career in something like that. And
what do you think that career would be? In what domain or field?
I don't know, like I would be like an entrepreneur. I would like buy real estate and buy companies and invest and like have meetings with people and like continue working, because I wouldn't just be like sitting on my ass for the rest of my life. And like it would be fun, like let's say for a year or 2 or 3, travel and do a lot of fun shit. But then I would like to like work, because it's boring not to work.
No, but you know, they always say that the question to ask yourself, if you want to know what your passion is, imagine you had all the money in the world and all the fame, all the status. What would you do with your days? Because you still have to live, right? You still have to do something. What would you do? But you already have all the money. So you can't say, because I already asked this question to one of my friends, like, oh, well, I'd make more money. I'm like, no, but you already have all the money in the world. So you cannot think about finding a job just to make money. You have to do something that you're passionate about, and that's your real passion. So I'm just wondering, what would you do?
I would do business. I would like buy real estate, buy companies, and just do business and meet with people, see for potential to invest here, invest there. Like, and I wouldn't work like from then to then. I would wake up, be with my kids, drink my coffee. Then I work, calls, meetings. Like I would just be like an entrepreneur. Like I feel like.
And what field do you think?
I would dabble in like in whatever I feel like I like whatever it is. Like I don't think like maybe like by doing it I would find a domain that I would like, but I would just start like in whatever and see what I like. I don't even know myself.
What if you woke up that rich and that famous, but you didn't have kids and didn't have a wife?
I don't think I would be like to be that famous, man.
Okay, but you would for a couple of months.
I don't think so, because
like
you can't
2-3
do
months.
anything, and no one treats you like a normal human being. Like imagine Ronaldo, like wherever he goes, he always needs to be like in a hidden, secured with bodyguards, because he cannot do nothing normal. Like he cannot go like, let's say to Florence and just walk the streets of Florence and go to a nice restaurant. He can't, because everyone's gonna hey, and they treat you like, hey, take a picture with me. Like, hi, how are you? Like no one treats you like a normal human being. And you like, even I heard like Mbappe and Justin Bieber say that it's not fun.
Yeah.
Like you cannot live your life. Like you're always like secluded, because you need to hide away from people. Because imagine just Messi. Let's say Messi just wants to go to the restaurant with his family. He can't. He needs to go to the restaurant when the restaurant is only for him. So it's like a weird ambiance.
No, I understand. So now you talked about all the cons of being famous, but there are also pros.
Like what are the pros?
Okay, let's say you're a young man with no wife and no kids. You're telling me there's no pros to being famous?
Of course, you party like an animal, be with a lot of women, do stuff like that, and go out to nightclubs and all that. Yeah, yeah.
Let's say you go to Las Vegas. Oh, here's a sweet the penthouse.
Yeah, yeah,
Here's
yeah.
here's that. Everyone knows you. All they want to come around you. Oh my God, look
Yeah,
at
yeah.
him. There are pros. You cannot say there's no pros to being famous.
Yes, like, but like, I don't think doing that your whole life you'll be happy.
No, not your whole life.
Yeah.
But like I said, being someone who never experienced that, like 99.9% of human beings, especially being a young man, having that, you cannot say that not for a couple of months you wouldn't abuse that. Like you go to a nightclub.
If I was single and I
you-
didn't have kids, oh yeah, of
You
course.
go to the biggest nightclub in Miami. Immediately you go inside. You have a. I'm not saying that's like the ideal life. It's not. When you're young, it's to have fun
But
with
still,
your
you need
friends.
to be careful. You don't need. You can't be too drunk. If you're too drunk, everyone's gonna film you, put it on social media, big story.
Yeah,
you
but,
can't. You have to be careful with which woman you go. You can go with a woman, and then she says that you raped her, and then she
And
brings.
NDA, bro. They all sign. They're professionals, bro.
Okay, I
Like
understand, but it's
DiCaprio.
still tricky, man.
Yeah, I know.
Like
yeah, it is.
I would like more to be rich, but not famous. Like I don't want to be
Mm-hmm.
famous. I don't think famous it's a good thing that much. Like
No, it's true. Of course, you have the choice between being rich and not famous and being famous, but poor. Of course, rich is 1,000 times better. But as a young man, I feel like famous is also like, oh, that's also nice.
but
because
I don't like famous as much.
Women,
like I don't. Me personally,
they're all around you. Women, they
know.
talk about you. They talk to you. They want to be with you.
But I
Like
don't-
there
I-
is something cool to it.
I don't idolize being famous as much as you. I think.
No, I understand that part, but you cannot say that. Do you think that? Okay, let me ask you this
There was
question.
a younger self of me that would have liked it a lot.
Is there more pros or cons to being famous?
I think there's more cons.
Really?
Yeah. Like throughout your whole life, way more
Yeah.
cons.
Long term, I think maybe.
But of course, let's say from 19 to 30, it's the best. But even that, if you're too famous, like you cannot even do nothing, and everything you do, you're getting scrutinized. Like, look at Justin Bieber, man. Like, he got super famous fucking young, and he always says like he like it fucked him up.
Yeah, of course.
Like, being that
yeah,
famous.
But also, that's the particular case. He was really young and he was like that's like fucking, he was world level famous. That was
Like,
like
you're talking
crazy
about
level of fame.
you're talking to him
Yeah.
about waking up
But
being
I'm saying-
Cristiano Ronaldo.
yeah, yeah.
That's
But I'm
that's
saying,
the
no, but
same
I'm saying,
famous.
yeah, okay. So, did fame affect everyone the same as it affected Justin Bieber?
I don't think the
No,
same as
right?
him, but I think they all feel it like
Of
a little
course.
bit like him.
So it's not only the outcome, but it's only also who you are as a person. Justin Bieber is probably more of a sensitive person and like maybe not introvert, but he's more sensitive probably than, let's say, Ronaldo. Justin Bieber isn't more famous than Ronaldo, right? Ronaldo became famous at like 19, 20 when he was like already at Man United fucking destroying shit. So that didn't affect him as much as Bieber, maybe because it's a different lifestyle. He's an athlete, like it or not. He has to wake up every morning, go work, physically be an athlete. He's an athlete. The other guy was he could go to nightclubs every single day and that worked with his job. Like maybe that's the difference also. Maybe there's also that. But I'm just saying that fame didn't affect Ronaldo the same way as it affected Justin Bieber or the other way around. So I think that, yes, fame, there is cons to being famous, especially when you've been in it for a long time. It's like you understand that like it's like surface level, it's not deep, there's no real emotional connection. You understand that in a way, it's not all fake, but it's like kind of a theater. People don't really give a fuck about you. When you understand that, and of course, for a long period of time, you're like, fuck, man, I can't even go out with my friends just to have a beer at the bar. But I feel like there's also other parts. Let's say something happens, I don't know on the top of my head, and you want
Can't do
to
nothing normal.
you want to get inside. Let's say there's a show, and then we all wait outside to go, and then Mbappe pulls up. He has no tickets. Do you think he's not gonna get inside?
No,
He's
I
gonna get
understand.
inside
Yeah,
with
but-
tickets
but
and VIP.
That's such a little thing. But all the other things, it's not cool. I think, man.
But do you think, let's say, people worshiping
Even
you-
Mbappe said
Yeah.
he didn't like being that
No,
famous.
I understand after a long period of time, but even now, do you think he probably still loves when people worship him? Being a normal human being with an ego, it's normal.
Yeah, no, of course. Like when he's, I think what he likes the most is when he scores a goal and everyone screams his name. But after that, when he goes home, like he must always be secluded. Like he cannot do like normal stuff. Like he cannot go
Have a cup of coffee in a
he cannot
cafe.
go
yeah.
just walk the streets of Paris. He always needs to be secluded in some way, hidden from people. Like they must live like a weird life because they always must like avoid people because they don't they don't want to get swarmed. You know, like you cannot go to the restaurant with his friends. They'll be like, "Hey, Mbappe, take a picture with me." Like, fuck, can I just enjoy my meal?
But there are some places where they can go, I feel like. If it's more adult, if it's more...
It
Because
needs to be like a high level thing.
Yeah,
but-
because, you know, let's say Mbappe goes in a restaurant where it's more high class, and all the people who are there are rich adults. They're not gonna run around him and
No.
oh my god, Mbappe, oh my god. They're just gonna see him. Oh, regarde Kylian, regarde, oh c'est Kylian, and keep eating their fucking escargot, whatever the French people eat.
but like for me, there's no like being famous. I don't even think about it. I never like idealize it.
No, but I understand. But like, as a young man, maybe not because you're married, but as a young man, and you think about, you imagine
Yeah, but just
you
for
go
a
to a
couple of
nightclub.
years. Just
Yeah,
for a
of
couple
course.
of years.
So there are also pros.
Like you can be that, do that, be rich and famous, and be with all the women in the world. But one day you're gonna want a wife and kids. Of course.
Of course. But you're also gonna want, like, let's say someone who only had one girl his entire life gets married with her, and now he's 40. Do you think that he's not like, fuck, maybe when I was younger I should have had like not 30, 40, but 6, 7, 10, 11, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, of course,
No,
there's
there's
also
nothing
that.
perfect in life, but
Yeah.
just to answer your question, being famous, like I wouldn't idealize it that much.
What I would do if I woke up famous the first like year, I would just go fucking crazy, bro. Like, I'd be in New York, Montreal, Miami, bro, Barcelona, London, bro. Just in nightclubs, bro, with the baddest bitches, man. Like, for 1 year, I would have a lot of. Then I'd
Yeah,
see
of course.
what it looks like. Do I want to keep going? Maybe after 1 year, I'm like, I still want another year.
Yeah,
Then maybe
yeah.
after 3, 4, I'm gonna be like, okay, you know what? Like, yeah, you know how Dan Bilzerian was like the king of the Playboy king.
Yeah.
Like, he had fucking yachts and the most beautiful woman, all the money. And then even he got tired of it.
Yeah. You
So
get tired of it.
I
believe me,
suppose
man.
that you do, but for someone who never had that experience, you cannot look at that as a
No, of
as a
course
young
not.
heterosexual man and be like, yeah, that seems boring.
No, of course not. Of course not.
You know
Of
what I
course
mean?
not.
Like, Jesus fucking
No,
Christ,
of
bro.
course not. Of course not.
And then after that, if I had all the money and all the fame in the world, then of course,
But then you still would need to live with that fame. You cannot now it's gone. You still need
yeah,
to
of
live
course,
with your whole
Then
life.
I would fucking buy like a big piece of property of land where it's like only me and my family can be there, like a big
Yeah, I
piece
know,
of land.
but still, like you're
You're
never,
out of
you'll
society.
Never, you'll never live a normal life.
Yeah, you're still out of
You're
society.
still like
Yeah.
living in the woods. Where
No, but not in the woods, but imagine like a big fucking mansion, and then you have your own lake, which some rich people do. They do actually have their own lake.
I know,
they
but
have
you're
their own
still
little
secluded.
forest.
You're
Yeah,
still
yeah,
secluded.
yeah. But I'm just saying there is that, and I feel like Jeff Bezos. That's what he does,
See,
right?
then your kid wants to play soccer. You need to bring him to a soccer game. You can't.
Yeah. Well, you and bodyguards.
But it looks
Yeah.
stupid.
Yeah, maybe
No,
not
you're not.
stupid.
You just want to
but-
go see your kid play soccer, man. You know.
Yeah,
like,
but you're fucking Jeff Bezos, bro.
Nah, I know, but
Can get
I don't
kidnapped.
think
Fucking,
that's
I'd
fun.
kidnap the shit out
I
of
am
him.
sure that rich people they envy normal people a lot. I'm sure.
Yeah, for some things.
I'm sure.
Not for everything, but yeah, there are some things,
Yeah,
of course.
I'm sure,
Like, yeah,
I'm
of
sure.
course. Like, I'm pretty sure there's some rich people, sometimes they can just pass by in a car and they see a random old guy just sipping a cup of coffee in a nice cafe, sitting, enjoying life, and be like, damn, I'd like to have that. Like Mbappe, maybe
Yeah.
he walks by and he sees random kids around, like he's around my age, maybe a bit older. Maybe sometimes he'd be like, I'd love to go out, be able to go out with my friends at bars and just get drunk and then go to another bar, have fun, fuck around with my friends, and then the next morning, well, no one cares because I'm nobody.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure he's like, that seems really fucking nice because he never had that,
Yeah,
right? And
exactly.
he remains a normal 27-year-old adult who likes to have fun with his friends and whatever. So of course there's also that. Okay, next question. Is social media making people smarter or dumber?
I think dumber.
Dumber, really?
I think dumber.
I don't know if it's making them smarter or dumber. I think it's exposing them by their real mentality, but it's also
No, I
putting
think-
them more informed. But there's also a lot of misinformation, I feel like, on social media.
I think like overall, I think people are more stupid.
Do you know what I saw you recently, man? When I was in Montreal in a nightclub. Do you know Clavicular?
No.
Didn't heard of Clavicular?
No.
He's maybe not really famous. I mean, you didn't hear of him, but he's getting famous as a streamer, in real life
Yeah,
streamer.
yeah.
He streams in real life. And he became famous by looks maxing. He's like a looks
What's
maxing
that?
advocate.
What's
It's improving your looks as much as you can physically, all about physical looks,
Okay.
as much as you can.
Okay.
And then he comes up with, like, let's say having a diet can be considered looks maxing, but that's like something that's normal, having a diet ever since humans.
Looks maxing.
Looks maxing.
Okay.
That's like a new term.
Okay.
It's like they use it also for I don't know, but they use something maxing,
Okay.
book maxing, or reading books,
Okay,
whatever.
okay,
Just
okay,
it became popular saying something maxing,
Okay.
like you're maxing that.
Okay.
And then now there's looks maxing. He's like a big advocate of looks maxing.
Okay. Does
But-
he look good?
Yeah, I wouldn't say he's fucking Brad Pitt. Like, but he looks good. Yeah, he's not a.
For you,
he's not-
Brad Pitt is the.
No, but you know what I mean. It's not. I wouldn't put him as like Brad Pitt, but yeah, he looks good, but not as like I don't know. Let the woman decide. But yeah, he's all about looks, Maxi, and he became really popular.
Okay.
But he talks about crazy methods, like taking a hammer and hitting it in your cheekbones and in your jawline, because there's like a theory which isn't true, but there's a theory that when you hit yourself, well, the bone grows stronger because you create little micro fractures. But that's like the extreme of looks, Max. And like he also takes meth. He smokes crystal meth so that he cuts his appetite so he stays lean.
He really smokes crystal meth
Yeah.
on stream?
Yeah. And he started using.
Are you serious?
No, not on stream, of course not. But
Okay.
he's known for. He went on
He
podcasts.
says I smoke crystal meth, so I don't eat a lot.
He's really like autistic. He's like weird because he
He's
has no
autistic.
personality. Yeah, he has no personality. Like he's there and he's just like. And then he talks, but he talks about these.
How come these
stuff.
guys are getting fucking famous? I don't understand.
I'm not making
man.
them famous. I'm just saying this is something that I saw, and he talks about. So he goes to the extremes. Like I said, there is something normal of looks, Max, and which is having a diet, whatever. But he goes to the extremes, which is what made him popular. Taking drugs, like he started taking testosterone at the age of 14. So he has like an older, more masculine look, because you know testosterone is like extra testosterone, so you get like more of a masculine look, whatever.
Okay.
So he became famous because of the extremes of looking to look good.
I need to go see what this guy looks like, man.
Clavicular. He's a bit weird. Like what? Like you can see, I saw clips. The reason I knew about him because he went on a podcast. Jack Neal. Jack Neal, he's a podcaster I follow, and he's kind of big. He has a good podcast, and he brought him once. And the first clip I saw, and that's why I was like, "What the fuck? This must be a joke." Is when he said, "I smoke crystal meth to cut my appetite, so I stay lean." And that's when I was like, "Yo, bro, did I just hear that correctly? Like smoking crystal? Do you understand how crystal meth is fucked up?"
I just want to see how this guy looks, man.
Clavicular. He's autistic.
He looks like a fucking insane guy, man.
No, he is, of course, but he's like autistic a little
What's
bit.
his Instagram? Clavish?
Clavicular. But my point is, so he talks about that, and in my mind, I'm like, I always thought he was a.
Does he have an Instagram or no?
Yeah, probably.
Like this guy?
Yeah, him. Yeah, he always talks about fucking like going to the extremes by injecting yourself, taking drugs and whatever. Yeah, he fucking
Is
smokes.
this guy fucking like an idiot, man? Or
No, in the beginning, the first time I saw him on a podcast, I thought it was a joke, like because you know how streamers they fuck around and they joke around and whatever. Okay, you understand what I mean?
what the fuck? And he's serious, like it's not a joke.
Yeah, no, I thought it was a joke because in the beginning I saw a podcast and he says he smokes crystal meth, and then the guy asked him, "What are all the drugs you take?" I'm like, "All the drugs you take?" He's like, "Well, crystal meth. I'm taking this testosterone, that testosterone," and I thought it was a joke. I'm like, "This has to be a joke," because I thought streamers, you know how they like Drewski, how he fucks around, Kai Cenat, so I thought it was a joke, but I realized that it's actually something true, and that's why he became famous, because of crazy methods. And then in my mind, I'm like, okay, well, no one's gonna fucking do that. I was in a nightclub in Montreal. And I saw two guys, I couldn't believe my eyes. Two guys, maybe like 19, 20, whatever. One guy went like this in the nightclub. I was at the bar with a drink. He went like this, and his friend started punching him in both cheekbones. I watched that. I'm like, bro, are they serious? Like, am I tweaking right now? So that's why I'm saying that there are some things on social media which are really fucking crazy. But I thought that like, no one's gonna take him seriously, because I thought that's a joke. What do you mean you smoke crystal meth to stay lean? I mean, Jesus fucking Christ. Like, but I feel like maybe some people's minds are like easily influenced, or I don't know. I feel like that's one thing about social media that fucking
Like I think there must be people that makes them smarter, but I think it makes more people stupid than smart. Social media and all that, because because anyone can become famous, even idiots like that guy. And then people kids are young, and then they follow them, and then it's like, man, then they start listening to them, and then they do stupid
But
shit like
I
that.
still believe like it's a minority that actually listen. I feel like most people, not just him or anyone else who like does crazy like content, I feel like most people follow him because it's funny. Because you know, like, well, he went to such an extreme. You're like, Jesus Christ. Like you just find it funny. But I didn't think that there's actually people who are gonna follow him or someone else. Like, you know, Alex Jones. Like 99% of people, of human beings who listen to Alex Jones, they know that it's like 95% it's bullshit, right? Like when you listen to Alex Jones, you know that 95% of what he says is bullshit, right? But you listen to it because it's entertaining, right? Alex Jones, what he says. So I feel like it's the same maybe with these streamers, like even if it's dumb what they say, but it's still like you are listening to it, but you still understand that it's dumb and you just watch for entertainment, which is what I feel. But I feel like maybe there is a 5%. There's probably a 5% of human beings who actually listen to Alex Jones and they're like, yeah, well, everything he says is fucking true, right? There has to be also that. So I feel like maybe that's also the case for streamers or maybe other people of younger generation.
There has to be like a guy like Clavicular and 1,000 more, man. I can't believe how.
But he
people are
became actually
stupid.
really famous. Like he went on Piers Morgan. Imagine that. Piers Morgan
Because
brought him on.
Piers finds him like he finds him fucking retarded, probably.
Of
man.
course, of course it's retarded. I'm just saying, in the beginning, I couldn't believe because when I saw that at the nightclub, I'm like, okay, there's actually people who are gonna follow him
Of course,
and listen to him.
especially young people, man.
So that's one thing about social media where like fucking that can actually be crazy. Like Alex Jones also, like some people actually believe that like all the conspiracy theories that he says are true. Are people naturally good or naturally selfish?
What do you mean?
Do you think they're
Like
naturally
they're
good?
nice?
Yeah.
I think there's a part of you that yes and part of you that no. There's a part of you that's naturally good and a part of you that's naturally selfish, and every day is like the battle between them.
Also circumstances, probably what you face in life and
But that's what
the
I say. Like
circumstances you live.
we all inside of us have the capacity to be nice and to be good, and we all have like dark places inside of us and nice places, and we can all be selfish. We'll all be nice to each other, and it's a daily battle. Like some days you'll be more selfish, some days you'll be nicer, and every day it's a battle between those two.
But do you think naturally people are more good or bad naturally by default?
It can go like we all have both inside of us. Everyone, and like I say, like some people they're like, oh no, I'm always nice, but like everyone's gonna say no, you're in fact you're an asshole. But if you ask him, he's gonna say it's nice. Like it's an everyday battle. Like and
But also,
there could be even like a week that you're not a nice person, and then you wake up and then like, oh fuck man, like I made mistakes. I need to be better. Like we all have that. And I think it's an everyday battle. Like some days you're more selfish, some days you're nicer. Like I think it's not. We're born with both. It's not one or the other.
Yeah.
I think.
I think that also always being nice isn't good. It's not good always being nice. You need to have both of them to know when to, like, depending on what you consider to be bad, but you need to have, like, you know, when you have to be selfish because you have to think for yourself, like, or not everyone does it. So I feel like it's a mix of both. But I feel like naturally human beings were good. I think that at the end of the day, we all want to do good things, just sometimes circumstances, and then we let our ego get the best of us. And in some certain situations, we're like, fuck, maybe we shouldn't have done it, but my ego pushed me. In some other situations, like, you know what, I can't always be good. Sometimes I have to put the foot down and stand up for what I stand up to people, and just being nice doesn't mean that you have to let people walk all over you, right? Sometimes you have to put your foot down and say, like,
You can
enough
put
is
your
enough.
foot down and say that and be nice. Don't need to be like rude about it.
No, of course, but sometimes also, like, being selfish isn't necessarily a bad thing. I feel like in society,
No.
when we say selfish, it's always seen as something that's bad. But sometimes it's not something that's bad.
No.
Let's say if I sell cars and then we have 4 other salesperson. If I have one lead coming in and it's between me or the other 4, well, of course I'm gonna take it for myself because I won the commission. Someone can say, "Oh, that's selfish," but it is what it is. You know, they will do the same, and it's actually the smart thing to do because I'm there to make money. They're there to make money. So if I can make as much money as possible, of course it's good. Of course, there's maybe like, okay, you know what? If you took 3 walk-ins, maybe you can let the other one for someone who didn't take one.
You like a car salesman analogies now, huh?
No, but just I work there, so
Yeah.
but it's true. There are some analogies that you can bring up, like
no,
'cause
you do a lot
many-
in the last podcast.
No, of course, because well, fuck, I'm there 40 hours.
I
So of
know,
course
I know.
I see like things like, oh yeah, that's true. Like in everyday life, you can talk about it. But it's true, like happens a lot between car salespeople, between each other, arguing a lot because you keep taking all the fucking clients, and you know it's like a shark mentality. You want to have as much as possible.
It's not even that bad, man. A lot of other like domains, it's even worse than that.
Of course, I'm pretty sure there were places where there's a lot of even more money, where there's even more like
that's
ego
nothing.
and sharks and whatever, which is normal.
Yeah, but that's capitalism.
yeah,
But you can still learn to be like a nice guy through all that and still be aggressive and a shark and
of course.
and still be nice. Like it's not being that you're not nice.
No, it's like I said. At the end of the day, if you play like, you know, you're honest and whatever, but it's just like you're going to be the most competitive and you're going to be the most competent you can. And then at the end of the day, you're the best. Well, there's what's wrong there.
There's nothing wrong.
You wanted more than the other guy. You're more competent. You're more competitive. You work harder. I mean, it is what it is. Just like some people, sometimes selfish. Like I said, nowadays everyone says selfish like a bad thing, but it doesn't have to necessarily be a bad thing being selfish. What habit changed your life the most?
Maybe like working out all the time, like that,
Yeah.
that teaches you about like consistency and like not motivation, but just being disciplined, always doing something that you don't feel like doing. Like when you force yourself to work out all the time, like you're gonna have ups and downs. Like fuck, I had the baby twins and I couldn't go for like a couple of months, but now I'm slowly finding my way to going back like 3-4 times a week. It's hard. Like right now, I don't have a lot of free time, but I still make time for it. And it's just like finding the consistency, the discipline, like being disciplined and consistent in something, then it gives you like the framework for all the other shit in your life. Like then you realize that whatever you want to achieve in your life, whether it's the podcast, whether it's your career or anything, it's not going to be from, you're not going to wake up one morning and your podcast is going to explode, or not going to wake up one morning and your career has shut off, or you wake up one morning or you're shredded. It takes time, consistency, discipline. You're going to be very good for 6 months. Then 1 month, you're not going to go. But you still, then after that 1 month, you come back up and you go again. So it's just like, and also like that everything takes time. Like nothing is quick.
And also
like some guys explode quick, but that's like an anomaly. Like 99% of people who make it and whatever, it takes time, consistency, discipline, failure, time, consistency, discipline, failure.
And also one thing you can add with working out, which is like a perfect analogy for everything in life you want to succeed, is success isn't something you can buy. It's only something you can rent, and the rent is due every single day. Because once you get in shape, it's not like, okay, I'm in shape now, let's stop. No, you have to remain in shape, and every single day you have to pay your dues to be in shape. And that's something that, I mean, I was going to say the same thing, working out. Because working out is like probably one of the best lessons you can have out of life, because out of it, you realize that discipline, you have to go every single day. It builds routine, builds a habit, and it builds a mentality of, I keep doing something even when I don't see results. Because if you go after two, 3 times, you're not going to see any results. But you know that deep down, I just have to keep going. The results are going to come. I'm not going to see them, but slowly they're going to come.
Yeah,
and
delayed gratification.
Delayed gratification, exactly. After a certain period of time, long term, you're going to see the results that you wanted in the beginning, but you just have to keep going. There's no secret potion. There's no magic trick. It's just doing it every single day, never giving up, trusting the process, and then you'll end up having whatever you want. Just I feel like it's probably the same with everything in life, your career, your side hustle, whatever it may be, being able to keep on going without ever giving up because you don't see results, because you understand and you tell yourself and like you convince yourself that maybe it's going to take some time, but even after a long period of time, it's going to come one day because you trust the process. So I feel like working out is one really good thing when it comes to just everything in general in life, with discipline and just delayed gratification especially. What motivates you when you feel lost?
Sometimes I just sit with it. Like when you feel lost, like I think that's something that can happen to anyone anytime. Like let's say like sometimes you put in doubt like your podcast. I'm sure sometimes your days like, oh man, like is it really something that I want to do? Like I'm putting a lot of time and energy in this, a lot of money, nothing coming from it. You know, like is this like you put your life in perspective? Like sometimes I think, oh, is this the career that I want to do? Is this are these choices that I'm making every day I want to do? So I think sometimes feeling lost is okay, man. It's not something that you need to like flee or like, oh, I'm lost. Like what can I do now to motivate? Just like think about it and think about the things you can do better. And like I think at the end of the day, like you'll always feel lost eventually because you're never sure what you're doing, like the decisions you're taking, and are you in the place where you want to be in life? I think like that's just life. Like I think feeling lost is just a normal thing that happens in everyone's life, and it's not something that you must flee when it happens. Just reflect and think and like try something else, and then maybe you'll feel lost again. And I think it's not something that you should be afraid of.
I think it's normal. You have to feel lost, but even when you feel lost, you just keep on going. You don't give up. You just keep on going. Whenever you feel lost, well, who's texting you? Donald Trump?
Ah, man, I texted you.
Who's texting you? Donald Trump? Like, Jesus Christ.
No, man, because...
you have to finish off what?
But like, how much time have we been doing the podcast? Thank you. Parce que les kids sont pas encore couchés, bro, puis ils braillent leur vie, puis Jess, elle capote, man.
Tabarnak, bro. OK, ben on peut, tu veux que je finisse ça bientôt?
Ben, on est capable de finir ça bientôt. Ben, c'est la capote, bon, elle était avec eux autres toute la journée.
Ben,
Puis
il-
live, ils broient leur vie, puis tout.
OK,
là.
attends, c'est quoi la question? When you feel...
Déjà,
What
j'aille
motivates
l'aider
you
au
when you
plus
feel lost?
sacrant, là.
Ah, okay. Okay, let me just finish off with this and then
Yeah.
can you do one more question
Yeah,
after?
for sure,
Okay.
for sure.
So what motivates me when I feel lost is it's normal, of course, like I said, with my podcast, whatever, always gonna feel lost. But then it's like just understanding like it's normal. But the thing that I hate the most is when I feel lost, doing nothing. Even when I feel lost, I'm like, fuck it, I don't give a fuck. I'm gonna do something. I get like maybe angry. Then I'm like, you know what? Okay, I got these negative thoughts. Like, it's not gonna happen. Fuck it. Now I'm gonna push myself. I'm gonna do even more just to prove myself. Like, no, you had that bitch mentality of, oh, yo, what if your podcast never happens? What if that job never happens? Just because of that, I'm gonna fucking double it down, do even more clips, even more episodes, invite even like, fuck you. I'm going even crazier now. Just like punish myself for having that thought and like killing that thought in a way. That's like one
It can
mentality
be a
that I
way
have.
of doing it. I find
Yeah.
it's like an aggressive way, but
No,
you can
but
do
it's
it
like
that.
I understand I can be seen as aggressive, but it's more like a motivating. Like, fuck that! You only have one life. There's no way I'm gonna live my life and not chase my dreams and not live exactly the life that I want to have because I only have one fucking life.
Yeah.
There's no way that other people are gonna have that and I'm not gonna have that because from like I said so many times, from what we know, we only have one life. And you're telling me I'm gonna go my entire one life, like my one shot of living life, and not living exactly life and having exactly everything I want. There's no fucking way. I'd rather die than not at least try to have everything I want out of life. Like literally everything. Like, you know how they say the world is yours. If others can have, like Donald Trump, one thing that I really admire from him is whatever he wants, he goes after like a maniac. Hate him, like you can say he's dumb. I mean, he kind of is. You can say whatever you want, but one thing you cannot say is when he when he wants something, he goes fucking
cannot
after
say
it,
that, yeah,
and he
yeah, for
doesn't
sure.
give a fuck. He wanted to
Yeah.
be president, bro. Just being president twice in your lifetime is one of the biggest accomplishments throughout human history.
Yeah.
Crazy, and he did it twice. He was president for 2 terms. I'm not sure how successful he was in business, how much his dad and how much he inherited
But
from his
still,
dad. But still,
Everything he accomplished, it's crazy.
it's crazy. And the reason why is because you see him, like, not that he has no shame, but maybe he does care what people say. But even if he does care what
I don't
people
think
say,
that much.
he still does it.
I don't think that
He still doesn't
much.
give a fuck.
I think doesn't give a fuck
No,
what
but
anyone thinks.
sometimes you see him tweet out mean things at like 3 a.m. You're like, broski, aren't you sleeping?
I don't think it. I think 1 hour after he forgot.
Maybe. I
think it's
don't
like
know him
that.
more than that. But one thing that I really appreciate and love him is he took life by the balls. He's like, yo, I only have one life and I'm doing whatever the fuck I
way
want.
more than 99%.
He took life by the fucking balls.
For
And that's
sure.
one thing that I really like. So he's like, yo, I have one life. Everything that I want, I'm going to fucking have it. I don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
So that's one thing that I really love. And of course, when you feel lost, I feel like the worst thing to do when you feel lost is give up. That's the worst thing. Because if you
sure.
give up, you had
You
losses,
can
losses.
give up for like a day or two and bounce back. Like
Yeah, that's taking a break. That's different. So whenever you feel like you're overwhelmed or whenever you feel like you're having a burnout, instead of giving up, just take a break.
yeah.
Like I remember I took once a week of not making clips because like, yo, bro, like, yes, making clips is easy, but it's fucking long
Yeah,
and
you need
it's
a
boring,
break,
man.
yeah.
I was like, gee, yo, I can't fucking do these fucking clips anymore. I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna take a week.
just when
Take
you're gonna have kids.
Yeah, that's why I'm not gonna have kids until fucking I'm 39 years
Like,
old.
I
bro,
need to
until
go
I'm
give a
40
break
years
to my
old.
wife now. She's,
Yeah, no,
she's going a little bit like this right now.
Wait 15 more years, then I'm gonna have kids.
Okay,
man.
but it's not gonna be that easier, man.
No, I'm just saying. I told you already. I'm gonna have kids at 40, 45,
Okay.
and my wife's gonna take
Is it-
care of everything.
Okay, sounds good.
She's gonna clean the house,
last question,
stay in the
go.
kitchen, take care
Last
of everything.
question, go.
One more question, and then we'll finish it off right there. If you had to start your life from zero tomorrow, what would you do first? So let's say I take you back to 18 years old, Luca. What would you do? With the knowledge you have now and the experience you have now.
There's not a lot of stuff that I don't know what I would do differently. Maybe. No, I don't think I regret anything about how I did my life. Honestly, like, of course, I can say, oh, I would have taken off this mistake, but every mistake I did, it learned me something. Yes, I spent money like on partying, going out, whatever. But at the same time, if I say I wouldn't spend that money doing that, but I had fucking a lot of fun. So why would I say like? There's nothing that I regret, honestly, because everything that I did, the good and the bad, like it's just like the way that life bring me. I don't think there's anything that I would like to go back and I would do differently.
But also, one thing that we realize now in 2026 is that before, everyone thought that partying and drinking alcohol was all but cons and negative. But now we realize that because now kids are going way more out and they're drinking way less and partying way less.
Yeah.
But with that also comes less sex, less friendships, less emotional connection with other people. Because when you go out
Yeah,
and
for
drink, you have
sure.
fun. You make relationships with guys or with girls. You just
You have
make
sweet
relationships.
nights, you laugh, you fun, like you do fun stuff, you have fun with the lads, you joke around. Like, yes, like I could say, like, I would have wished I would have saved more money. Like, man, but I had so much fun partying and going to shows and going to nightclubs and being like,
There are
I'm
also
still happy
pros.
that I did it.
There are also pros because I remember. I think myself sometimes when I go like let's say 6 days straight just working, going to the gym and working my podcast. Then I'm like yo. And then when I go out with my friend Saturday night and I just have fun, I'm like yo, fuck, this felt fucking good.
Well,
Like,
yeah,
and the
well,
next morning like yeah, now I feel even better. Like it's something that you need.
Of
But there's
course.
also something that they said right now is. This is the first time in the history of humanity that this generation is having less sex than their parents. And at the same time, it's also the generation that is drinking the least alcohol and going out the least. But both of those go together.
yeah.
Relationships, socialization, it
Yeah,
all
yeah.
goes together with, of course, partying and drinking alcohol. Of course, drink alcohol maybe isn't that good for your body, health, or whatever. But there's also
Just go have
Positives.
fucking fun, man.
Yeah.
Go outside and fucking have fun with your friends, man.
people go out
Fucking-
less. But also, if I was 18 years old, like, of course, I understand your logic of every mistake that
But
happened.
what are kids
every,
these days doing? Like, what are they doing?
If they're not
Like,
going
if,
out.
if you're 18, 19, 20, what are they doing?
Okay, but I
right now?
ask the same questions to guys who are 25 and more. If I go outside Saturday night or Friday night and you're not in a bar, what like you take your Friday nights at home, you watch a movie, you're with your girlfriend, you go out. like,
When you
I don't
have
know.
kids, you're with your kids. But let's say you
But
don't,
if you don't have kids,
Yeah, yeah.
like what do you do? Maybe they go to house parties, like they just hang out
Yeah,
with their
yeah.
friend's house.
I think a lot of people just stay home and watch Netflix.
I think a lot of people hang out with their friends at home, but I fucking hate that. Whenever I go to my friend's house and it's a Saturday night and they just want to stay at their apartment and drink, I'm like, broski, like, there's no woman here. Let's go out. Let's meet some people. There's no woman here. Like, what the fuck? No, but you know what I mean?
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
true. Like, you go out Saturday night, you started drinking, and then I have to stay in an apartment with my friends and there's no woman, whatever. Fuck that. But one thing that I would do, let me just say this and then we'll wrap it up so you can go help our lovely Jacinthe.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, if I go back to 18, one thing I would do is I would do 1 year or 2 years of cégep as a joke. Then I would immediately go to university at the age of 18, 19, finish that as quickly as possible. So I don't finish it now at 25, so I can maybe finish at 22, 23, the age that people normally finish it. 22, 23. And then I would probably, I didn't know it's something I was going to like. You had the idea to start a podcast. And even when you had the idea, I didn't want to do it. So, but now if I had the same experience, I would have started the podcast at like 17, 18. Now it would be way better. I would have
But
more
maybe,
experience.
maybe at that age you weren't ready for it.
Maybe,
like-
yeah. Of course, there's a lot of ifs that come into play, but just thinking about it like right now quickly and just like face value quickly, I would start it before. Instead of starting at like 22, starting at 22, I would start it at 19,
Okay.
20. But
At
maybe
19,
like, yeah.
you wouldn't want to start it.
Because I didn't
I
even
think
listen to the podcast.
you were like caring about too much what people think about you.
Yeah,
right?
of course, there's also that.
Yeah.
But that would have taken that part out of me quicker
Yeah,
than, you know what I mean? Like at 22, then at
Because
19,
I think
18.
like in the beginning I asked you if you wanted to do the podcast and you said no. I think because at that time like, oh man, what are my friends gonna think about me?
Oh, both. No,
I'm
but
sure.
both, of course. I
Yeah.
mean, first of all, if you ask anyone who never did public speaking or speaking in front of a camera, then posting it, everyone cares about, like, everyone's afraid of speaking in front of the camera, which is normal if you didn't do it for many times. I mean, when you did the first podcast, I mean, were you as comfortable
Yeah,
as now?
no, of course not.
Me neither. Like, I'm pretty sure that's the case for fucking everyone.
Yeah, yeah.
If they weren't like a stand-up comedian before.
Like right now, I give so much not a fuck. I
not
can't
because
even
you
explain to you.
realize it's not something big. Like I recently,
Bro, it's fucking
yeah,
nothing, bro.
but it's
Who
normal because you
cares?
did it so many times. But for someone who
I
never
didn't
did
do
it,
it that much, but I think I'm just.
bro, you did it like this is episode number 147.
how much
You-
did I do?
How the fuck should I know? But
I
you did
know.
at least
50?
70
You think so? Maybe,
easily, bro.
maybe I don't know.
So that's a lot.
But I think, man, like people should do it a lot. Just don't give a fuck what other people think, man. That's such a
No, of
liberating
course.
thing, man.
But I remember when it comes to public speaking and speaking in front of a camera, it's like a stress that you get because your body's like reacting because you don't know.
you care what other people. You care what other people are gonna
course.
think, but who gives a fuck?
No, it's
what other
easy to
people
say,
think?
but it's hard to do.
No, I know, but when you achieve it, it's so liberating.
Of course, of
Not
course.
giving a
of
fuck,
course,
like
course.
me, like I would like everyone to feel like that, like people, like, and also like when you think about all these people who are watching you, like they don't even really care that much.
They don't
for
give
you.
a fuck.
They
Of
don't
course,
give a
of
fuck.
course they don't give a fuck. Of course, I understand that. I'm just saying that you gotta understand. Like, you gotta think about it when we did our first podcast.
Yes, of course, of course.
How it was, right?
Oh, I know. I just say like it's a good thing
But-
to do because it liberates you.
Do you remember before our first podcast? Do you remember when we texted each other?
What?
We were like, "Yo, bro, we never talk about politics and about religion." Do you
Really?
remember that? I remember,
remember
vividly.
that, I remember that.
I was like, because just before your first podcast, I was like, okay, I was stressing. Then I was like, yo, there's no way we're talking about politics and religion. Don't you remember? I texted you that, and you were like, yeah, no, fuck politics, fuck religion. Now I'm fucking always, when I do my reality check, I'm always talking about politics
Because
and
you
religion.
don't care now.
No, that's what I'm saying, which is
Yeah.
normal in the beginning. But I'm just saying that after a period of time, you're like, I remember the first time I said Justin Trudeau is a bitch on camera, then I clipped it. People were like, oh, yo, what the fuck? Like, but I remember before the first episode, I would have also said, yo, you can't say that Justin Trudeau is a bitch. But
Yeah,
now I'm
yeah.
gonna say, I'm like, yeah, so what? Yeah, he's a bitch.
But I think because there was like, and I think now it changed. There was like a wave of like, oh, be careful what you're saying. But I think now it's like going the other way. Like
Yeah,
now
of
everyone's
course.
saying a lot of shit, and I was like, okay.
Yeah, of course.
one cares
yeah,
now,
no,
like,
of,
what
cour-
people
of
say
course,
that
there's
much.
that. Yeah, of
Yeah.
course. But I'm just saying that you have to put into perspective. Like, I just recently texted a guy. I'm not gonna say his name, but he was like, "Yo, bro, I'm way too shy talking in front of a camera." And he does like content on social media, but not face speaking. He does like content, other things.
Okay.
There's other, you know him, but I just don't want to say names.
Okay.
But he does other content, and he was like, and I told him like, bro, it's normal. My first time, bro, I was stressing. I was,
Well, like he films,
yeah,
but he doesn't. He's not in front of the camera.
he is, but he doesn't speak. It's different to do podcasts and to do, let's say,
What's the type of content he does? I'm just curious. What the fuck?
I'll show you. Listen, I'll show you. He would be a really good guest, actually.
Oh, okay. Why?
Really? That guy, we know
Yeah,
him.
yeah,
He's a
yeah,
really nice
yeah.
guy. His content is really fucking awesome.
yeah,
what he
yeah,
does.
yeah.
But he told me like, yo, bro, I never did one. I'd love to do one, but fuck. Then I told him, bro,
He's
it's normal.
nervous what people are gonna think about him.
Which is
yeah,
normal. I remember I told him my first time, bro, I was sweating. I was hot as fuck because you're not afraid of the camera, but the camera represents
All the people who's watching.
other people watching you, what they're gonna say and whatever. But now when you did so many episodes, you're like, yo, broski, no one actually gives a fuck.
No one gives a
And
shit.
I didn't have even when you say something like when I say something when it comes to, let's say, politics, my opinion, I'm like, bro, I'm gonna say it. If people don't agree, well, that's what I think, and maybe I can change my opinion in 2-3 years. Yeah, well, I thought that
cares?
when I was 2-3 years younger, that's how I thought. But now with different circumstances
Honestly, like,
and different life
I only
experience, I
care,
changed.
Like, what my close family thinks about, and other than that, I honestly don't give a flying fuck.
No, but I think it's like, not that you care, but Joe Rogan did say once, the best thing to do with social media is post and ghost. The reason he said that is Joe Rogan knows that he doesn't care what people think, but still, I mean, seeing people comment
Yo,
can a
I
little
read the
bit.
comments sometimes when you have viral clips, and it doesn't affect me not one
No,
second.
I find it funny. Some people
Bro, it
are really
doesn't,
funny.
and it doesn't like, and people insult us, and I'm just like,
Yeah.
I
Bro, the number of people who DM me because I roasted Ronaldo, bro, was crazy,
the
bro.
DM you like crazy shit.
Bro, they're like, yo, I can't even, like Aaron Jeffrey, once he
Yeah,
told me
yeah,
a
yeah.
crazy
Yeah, yeah,
message that he
yeah,
got.
yeah.
People sometimes DM me, you're like, what the fuck, bro? I
Yeah,
just
stuff
said,
like that?
Yeah, in my mind, I'm like,
They insult you.
yeah, of course, bro. They insult the shit out of you, man. They're like, you fucking piece of
But that's
shit,
funny.
whatever.
But it's
of course.
funny. Yeah, it's
sometimes,
funny.
sometimes I see comments because, like or not, my notifications pull up. Sometimes comments are really not fun. You're like, oh, bro, you could have done better. But some comments, sometimes I read them and I fucking start laughing.
But no,
bro.
but like even if someone would send me like a crazy DM, I'd just be like, broski, you're fucking funny. Like,
No, of course, I
it would
understand
never
that.
like affect me. I'm like, bro, like you spend the time to write me like a fucking like message like that. It's just funny. I feel like.
No, of course. But if you have like, how Travis Scott once deleted his Instagram because he kept getting hate comments and he couldn't take it anymore. So I feel like, yes, in a way, like, you don't care, but you are human. So like, if you constantly see people telling you something on comments, hating, I can see how it can have an effect on someone who is really famous and used to having a lot of clout and fame. That's
Why
it.
are we talking about that? I don't even know why. What was the fucking question?
I don't know, man. But that was it for this episode. Luca has to leave. Peace out.